Tamar has proven that she is deeply, deeply, deeply hurting. And she has proven that once again, she has created a relationship where she loves some man that doesn't give two bits about her more than she will ever love herself, her pride, and humility. Do you know that JR, Colonel Sanders, after he publicly threatened to expose Tamar and her hoe phase when he was in his love phase, which at the end of the day, Tamar's dumb to even fall through that because that guy that is her ex fiance or whatever, I would go so far as to venture, in my opinion, I don't think he was ever in his love phase. I think he was love bombing Tamar. I think he knew he had to get there to get a check. And I think he used Tamar because he thought there were bigger, more celebrities. But at the end of the day, he is Tommy's carpet muncher. He is Tommy's groceries muncher. He is nothing but a middle class lick who might be able to redeem his Marriott Hotel Regency buoyant points, whatever you want to call them, on some lady that doesn't know any better. Anyway, if you guys don't know, he threatened to expose Tamar because he was mad that Carlos King was being shady about him. Now, I find it funny that he went in on Tamar, but he didn't have two words for Carlos King, the man actually saying that. Do you know why? Because he thinks Carlos King might cast him. He thinks Carlos King might put him on. He thinks there might be something he needs from Carlos King. But he's gone into Tamar, humiliated her, and he's realized he doesn't need to treat Tamar with respect or a prize in order to reap all the riches and benefits that she can get in. She can bring into his life. So he treats her like she's disposable because Tamar lets that man think that she is disposable. He said that he was going to expose Tamar, expose her whole phase, expose this, expose that. If she didn't start like putting friends in a place, but you ain't have no beef for Carlos King. And Carlos King was the one that said it. As a matter of fact, he offered to tell your truth on Carlo King's stage. He low key was asking to be bought on. This man ain't no good, but they ain't never stopped Tamar from loving a loser. You know, she actually publicly apologized to him. Do you know that this man really made Tamar issue a public apology to JR, Mr. Nobody, Mr. Corny, Mr. Tacky, Mr. Tommy's grocery eater, Mr. will pay for it all in Marriott points, Mr. balling on a budget, Mr. And she said, she made a message. She said she made a message on hurting people you love. She said, and also, again, why didn't you have beef with Carlos King? Why didn't you speak to another man? He said, Tamar said, when you truly love someone, hurting the person that you love is far worse than being hurt by the one you love. See, Tamar, that's the problem. And she don't understand that. Tamar went from toxic relationships to having a toxic view of what love is. Love, unless it's your child, is not putting another person's interest above your own. Love is respecting other people's boundaries, but also respecting and loving yourself. Hurting the person that you love is far worse than being hurt by the one you love. That is not true. Not in healthy relationships. You love yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself first, how's the person that loves you going to know how to love you? How are they going to know what you like if you don't even love on yourself? Think about it. I'm new to true love and loving myself. I'm so sorry that it's you that has to feel the trial and error. So she's begging for this man to come back too because their relationship is off. He leaves her whenever he wants to go cheat on her, and then he comes back. That's the promise he made on her. And then he says, I swear I'll spend my life upholding my queen. And then when he comes back, he makes all these excuses on why he left. Well, it's your fault, and you're this, and you're that, and y'all that. JR, yeah. And what are you? Anyway, I wish for the opportunity to and it's a really weird mind gaslighting, because then there's something wrong with her. And then she has to work on herself. And so she basically has to beg him to come back to show him how much she's changed. And now she's a good mate. Please, 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 please. And then he comes back because he's bored and he don't got itch to do. And then when he sees something better, he leaves again. I wish for that. You noticed when he thought her Love and War tour was doing good, he went back, or he let her crawl her way back. I wish for the opportunity to give an apology and be forgiven for it all. In relationships, we take being forgiven for granted. I'm reading this in real time. I wish for the opportunity to give an apology and be forgiven for it all. You're begging for this man's forgiveness. In relationships, we take being forgiven for granted. It's a blessing to be able to say, I'm sorry, and see another day in the war of love in this together. No matter how much I feel like I was right, you felt wronged. And I got to respect that. I'm not embarrassed for being open about how I feel, but you should be. You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. I'm embarrassed of how I made you feel. I'm sorry. You literally took this man that linked up with your ops, publicly embarrassed you, told all your business, and still telling all your business. He publicly threatened to exploit your whole phase while he was in his love phase. And in turn, you issue a public apology, hoping that will make him forgive you and y'all can get back together. Y'all, I cannot. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let me just read a little bit about what her king said. This is just sad. Then he said, the truth is, they are not ready for me to tell my side of the story. He was begging Carlos King to come on. I keep choosing grace. No, you don't. But I can only be thrown under the bus and not defend it for so much longer. You're such a man. You need your woman. So let me get this straight. Not only do you want a woman to be submissive and put her ego aside and bow down to her king, but you want her to get in front and protect you? But I can only be thrown under the bus and not defend it for so much longer. Use a man, defend yourself. I'll be Colonel Sanders and give you some chicken to eat with my story. Keep poking the bear, begging. A man can only take so much. I always want to protect, even when we aren't together. But stop allowing, and he admitted they're not together, but stop allowing indirects to throw me under the bus. Your shade creates more uncertainty. So basically, he's making her audition to get back with him. And your people thrive on stating what you never say. I'm too graceful, and that's coming to an end. Thanks, Carlos King. Apologies mean nothing when you come from my foundation. For my foundation, you know the truth, but want a key. Well, I guess the exclusive has to come out. Tired of protecting people and getting ished on. Their whole phase was during my love phase. Flowers and billboards don't mean ish when you've had your heart broken. Tamar is a dummy. She is a fool. And she's a proud dummy and fool. So y'all, we just gonna sit back and watch this popcorn. But I find that you apologizing to a man that can't talk to another man, but he's trying. Yeah. Y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.